Aunt C checking in with another tea and things. Obviously, we look different tonight, but hey, I'm still chilling with my girl.
Chilling with her homegirl Nia. What's up? It's another Wednesday. We're here. And yeah, we look different, but we in the building, baby. We are in the
Yes,
building with
ma'am, we
y'all
are.
tonight. Sometimes we gotta switch it up. You know the news do it too.
Right. We doing that new, y'all.
The news do it too. Since COVID. All right, there I go. We in there. We in there. All right.
Exactly. So what's going on, Nee?
So we gonna start y'all with some tea and some things tonight. Lord, the show just ain't long enough, okay, for me to go through all the tea and all the things. Okay, but Lord, let's get into some celebrity. Well, okay, so let's start out with some celebrity news and tea, and there's lots of tea, okay.
Oh Lord,
but
what is going
well,
on?
well, let's just start out. I want to say a special congratulations to my homegirl, my friend, my sister. She's known as everybody's best friend, Shamia Morton from the B103 Morning Show. Y'all know her
Yep,
from the Housewives. Y'all know her. She's the Hawks announcer. And
yep.
my girl is planting her seeds all over. So we talked about it some months back. She had a surrogate that had gotten cancer in the middle of the pregnancy, and they had to deliver the baby a little early, and the baby was in the hospital. And we were waiting for the baby to come home. And I had even mentioned, because it had been said so many times, oh, the baby will be home next week, next week, next week. Here we are 3 months later, but the baby, it is official. Shiloh is home. I cried last night.
Well,
I
it's
did.
funny, Nia, because when I was listening to the story, um, a lot of you guys know my daughter was also a preemie, and it also took her 3 months to come home. And I just, her talking about the story, the day that she came in, like how she felt about it, like all the tests that the her daughter had to go through before they can actually bring her home, and how she felt when she was like walking away, like feeling like, oh, I'm not supposed to be taking her with me. Like it was such a surreal situation. Like I know how she feels, because man, that's the exact same thing. It actually brought me to tears.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
So when Rachel went home from the NICU, did she have to do a car seat test, or
She
is
had
that
to do
something
all
pretty
of
new?
that.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I never heard of a car seat test,
She had to do
but
a car
I guess
seat
that
test.
I thought that was something new.
She had to do a car seat test. They had to make sure that she could swallow properly. She had to keep up like a certain temperature in her body for so long by herself. Like it was a bunch of different tests that they had to do for her. And when Shamia was talking about it, like it literally brought me to tears, because I remember, all of the things that we had to do for Rachel to get her up to par. So like what she's going through, y'all, that's real life. She ain't lying. She ain't telling no story. That's exactly how it is.
I am so happy
Yeah.
for that family. She has been waiting, and every week or every time she think the baby's coming home, it's been something. But Shiloh is home for real this time and
For
safe.
real, for real.
And she has Shamia. I can tell you, Shiloh is blessed with. Shamia is one of the most. She's a personal friend of mine, and she is one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. Her soul is, when she say everybody's her best friend, everybody's her best friend. And that's how you feel when you're with her. That you know that it's you feel her spirit. She's such a good person. So I am so happy for her. We will continue to pray for her surrogate
hmm
throughout this breast cancer process. Well, I don't know if it's breast cancer. I just know it's cancer.
Right. Big
So
shout
y'all don't
out to
quote me there.
Shamia for her journey, for sure.
Yeah. So yay for that. All right. So moving on, talking about kids. Okay.
Oh Lord.
So oh Lord. So apparently, And this is a really sad story too, because we don't know what's real and what's not here.
Right.
But y'all know Jay-Z, allegedly from the 90s, supposedly has a son that he's never claimed.
Oh Lord.
Supposedly. So the boy is still after it. He's has decided to take the paternity test to the Supreme Court.
To the Supreme Court. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
because well, so and that's the thing, they kept all these years, like the mom, she started out fighting years ago, but her lawyer ended up being friends with his lawyer. It was like a big mess. So, and I think that when, if we look back on history,
Hmm.
people with money versus people with not a whole lot of money,
Right.
I don't know the lady financial situation, but clearly we know that she doesn't have as much money as Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Right.
So if you look back at history, things would just be look at all the stuff Donald Trump going through. Things would just be brushed. You could get away with murder. Let's say
Basically.
OJ. Okay, I ain't gonna go
Oh
there,
Lord.
but but
Why we
you know,
bringing OJ into this?
no, I was just saying you could get away with murder. But if you look back on history, but that's not where we are today. You
Yeah.
know, today is a different day.
Yeah, you ain't getting away with nothing.
Well, I mean, you can sit in a courtroom whether you're the president of the United States or not.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like you're being called on your stuff. So yeah, the Supreme Court,
Well, we gonna see.
I believe, has accepted his case. Um, Speaking of cases, Tory Lanez,
Oh my goodness. What?
yeah, he, for his charges, he's could be facing up to 20 years. Okay.
Damn.
Could be. I'm not saying that he is, but for the charges,
But
he could
listen,
be facing
I don't even want to be considered for 20 years. Like, don't even put that in
exactly.
the same sentence.
Well, he has went back and tried to do an appeal to reopen this case or whatever, and that was denied.
Now,
So
this
that's
is
what
the
I'm saying.
whole.
It doesn't matter how much money, because Tory got money. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, he does. How much
So
money
is
or
this
who you
this the case that he had where he shot Megan in the foot? Is this the
yeah,
same charge?
same charge.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Wow.
Lord, I know it's all a hot mess, and I am.
Well,
You
you
don't know what to believe. He's got one story, Megan got another. Of course, I'm team Megan because I'm a lady, and that. But it sounds like this whole thing was a hot mess, and two friends, and I don't know.
you do the crime, you pay the time.
I don't know. We were not there, so we don't know. We don't know, guys. I don't know what y'all
Truthfully,
think.
no.
Chime in and certainly let me know what you guys are thinking, because Lord, this is all a hot
That
mess
is
going on. It is
hotmess.com.
it is all a hot mess going on. I don't know. My Facebook is doing weird stuff. Okay, you guys there? All right, there we go. All right.
We still there?
All right. So I'm not seeing any comments. Do you see any comments, Shante?
No, not yet. I guess they warming up. They want to hear what we about to say about this how you tell grown folk to work on their hygiene.
All right. Well, we are getting there.
I think they're ready to get into the topic, sis.
No, 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 because we got something else we need to discuss. And y'all know
Oh snap! Well,
I am
what we need to
heated
discuss?
over this whole situation with the Chris
Okay,
Brown and the Usher and the fighting. This is too much.
what
Because that's two of my
what happened?
faves, all time faves.
So what happened?
So apparently, Chris Brown and Tiana Taylor was having some words, and we know Tiana ain't no punk, so you can't just come at her,
And neither
Chrissy.
is Chris. So they was look,
Oh
and
yeah,
neither is
you know
Chris. So
Chris.
I'm sure they
Chris
was
gonna
going
blow
at
up the
it.
spot. I mean,
Yeah,
neither is
so
Chris.
they was going at it. Okay.
They were going at it apparently, and there's so many different stories. So this is all apparently. that Usher was trying to calm it down, and Chris being hot headed and crazy as he's being. Um, him and Usher ended up getting into it, and there's so many different stories about this. Okay, they're saying that
Wow.
the Bloods ended up jumping Usher, taking up for Chris.
What?
Then they're saying that Chris busted up Usher shit. But all I know is Usher ended up with a busted up nose with blood running out of
That is nuts.
it. This is a this is
Girl,
all
I
going
don't even know
down
what
in
to say.
Vegas. They tore up Vegas, baby. look,
Wow.
look,
That's crazy.
it's too much because it's my favorite. I can't pick a
I
side.
know.
I can't pick a side
That's
because I love them both.
that's I don't even know what to say.
So we're gonna see how this story continue to unravel, and I will keep you guys completely updated because I'm still trying to
Yeah.
figure it all out too.
Piece it together.
Yeah, because it's a lot, and I mean a lot. Well, we
Yeah,
are
that
gonna go
I
ahead
mean,
and go ahead. Yeah.
that's so that's odd. I don't even know what to say really.
Yeah.
So
And
I mean,
apparently the fight, Usher was throwing Chris Brown a birthday party or whatever. So I don't know. We
and
gotta,
then what
and then he
and
ended
then he
up
got
bleeding all
jumped
out
at
of
the
the
party he
nose.
was throwing?
And I think the whole
Gosh.
beef with him and Tiana Taylor was they were supposed to do a show together. She dropped out, and so then it got canceled or whatever. And Chris Brown wanted to confront her about
Oh shit.
it. Because I mean, at the end of the
Well,
day, if the show don't go on, that's money out of an artist's pocket. And an artist like
that
Chris,
is a
I can
fact,
assure
Jack.
you, he's got not no little thousands for a set. He's
Yeah,
got
so that probably was like
hundreds
a
of
nice
thousands.
so
Yeah,
he probably had already coined that money for something else.
Lord, I don't know. We gotta let this thing unravel. Usher, call us up, baby, and tell us what happened.
Yeah. What
hit
happened
me,
in the
hit
club
me,
that night,
Usher,
Usher?
hit me.
What
So I can
happened
clear
in the
your
club
name,
that
baby. And if the blood was, and then I heard, well, I ain't even gonna put that out there. That they
night?
drumming up some stuff for verses.
We'll clarify the facts and come back to you
Right,
guys
I
about
heard that this is all they're drumming up some stuff for verses. But they don't have to drum up anything. I mean, because shit, the whole world gonna watch the verses anyway. Because we've been wanting to know since for years who's the best dancer, Usher or Chris.
it. Girl,
I'm going with Chris.
girl, and here's the thing, I seen them both in concert, so I got my thoughts about who does what. They're both phenomenal dancers. They're both phenomenal artists. So hopefully, whatever the situation is, they can get on past it and move on. Yeah.
Heck, that's what I say. Because y'all are both my faves. Love, love there. Y'all can't be fighting, busting noses, bleeding, and all of that. Because I can't take a side. But we are going to
Right.
move into our topic of the day. And Shantae, bring us into it because, Lord, this is a lot.
Okay. So, you know, throughout the years, you're going to run across at least one person that has had funky breath, BO, something ain't going right with their scalp, their skin look toe up.
Yeah,
You
but
done
scalp
had.
and skin is not, is that bad hygiene? I don't think so.
I mean, it can be. It can be. We gonna get into it. We gonna get into it.
Yeah.
So you done had at least one friend that you've had to kind of like either hold your breath around them, or
Put your
you
mask
have had
on. Put your damn
put your
mask on.
mask on and just hope for the best. So the question is, how do you tell someone grown a grown ass person that they need to work on their hygiene.
That
How
is
do you do it?
that is a hard conversation to have with a grown person. I mean, I know people that have been in relationships and left the relationship because of just bad hygiene. The guy may not wash his hands after he use it or whatever. But I'm like, but if it's somebody you really like or love,
Like,
I don't know how you
okay,
say
so
it, but you should be able to say it instead of end the relationship. But I guess at the end of the day, it's such a turn off that you're freaking 40 and you don't wash your hands after you take a shit.
or my favorite, you wake up, right? And you may not be going anywhere, right? But the person don't brush their teeth all day long because they're not going anywhere. It's like, even if you're not going anywhere, you still
Yeah,
need to brush your teeth every day.
because
Okay?
we're not, I mean, we've learned from like elementary school. Your morning wake up, you stretch, you brush your teeth, you wash your face.
Wash your
So
face.
there's no excuses here.
Exactly. There is no excuse, my friends, for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know literally, like, I had a friend that was dating a guy. Okay.
right.
And she really liked the guy.
Yeah.
Um and like his halitosis was so bad, but she didn't know how to address it. So they did part ways, I'm sure she made up something. But I'm just like, she would ask me, what do I say? What do I do? I really like him,
Well, Robin
but I
said
just
you just
cannot kiss
well, Robin said you just be like, wash your ass.
him. Robin, I'm with it, girl. I'm with it. What they need to do, girl?
I mean, but I will say it's like a very sensitive subject, especially if you like really care about somebody. It's hard to kind of like just tell them, but I feel like you just got to be honest, and try not to do it in front of like other people. Like, I feel
Hmm.
like that's like a kind of like a private conversation. Like, maybe pull them to the side and be like, "Ooh, girl, you know, I don't know." Now, I remember some years ago, I knew someone who they were a little overweight, and they always seemed to have this smell, and everyone used to talk about it in the office, right? But no one ever said anything to her.
Because how do
Oh,
you say it? It's hard to
so
say.
I finally pulled her aside and was like, "Girl, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I'm your girl, and that's why I'm coming to you." I said, because I just cannot handle people talking about you behind your back and not saying this. I'm like, it's gonna sting a little bit, but I'm not sure what's going on, but sometimes, there is a little bit of odor. I mean, I'm not really sure what it is. Um, but I just thought that you should know because I don't want to be the one talking about you behind your back. And girl, from that day, she like never really wanted to deal with me no more.
Oh,
But
see?
but I just felt like, and then it was like she became like an enemy. I'm like, why are you my enemy? I'm just like, everybody was saying this shit behind your back.
Well, let me tell you. So I had a really close friend, a best friend,
Oh
and
God.
she is extremely healthy, okay? Like in everything she eat and everything she does. And she decided, because we know that they say deodorant causes cancer, whatever. Here's the problem with my best friend. She was what you call it, an influencer. She was on the radio, okay? And she was on a
We'll, we'll,
morning
we'll, we'll
show.
say
So
we'll
she
say
was
she
a
was
very
in media.
popular person
Look,
throughout
she was in
Atlanta.
media.
I'm
She
sorry.
was in media. She was in
She was
media.
in
She was
media.
in media.
Okay, she was in media. And so her reasons for giving up deodorant was a part of her healthiness and cancer and everything. But at the same time, which she was supplementing like baking soda and things like that. It just wasn't working. Baby, it's hot in Georgia. It wasn't working. So I was able to have that conversation only because she was in media and like she got to be around a lot of people and this is my best friend and I didn't want people talking shit and I know if I could smell you. I was like,
Lord,
honey, honey,
Robin talk about telling
I'm gonna have to tell you a secret. We gotta go back to secret.
girl, Robin talk about some. Tell them they smell like a small sub sandwich with extra onions.
Tell them that's what they smell like. Wait, that's a good way to approach adults. Did you eat? Did you have onions today? Have you had a lot of
And you
garlic?
know
Did
that
you
that
have a lot of garlic on your lunch today?
well, oh, but how about the people? And I know somebody personally who does this. That but that the person that eats like a lot of food that comes out of their pores when they sweat. So, like, if a person eats like a lot of garlic or something like that, then they start sweating and then they smell like garlic. You'd be like, okay.
I know it is really. What are well? We got Robin's suggestions. I don't know, Robin. I love your suggestions, but you know when it's a coworker or a spouse, it's kind of hard to be like. I mean, if it's a spouse, I feel like you could be like, "Babe, you stink."
Okay, so I feel like you can't say that without a solution,
But
though.
you can't. I don't feel like you can say that to a coworker or even a family member that's just coming to the barbecue. You know, like what do you say? You showed up the barbecue funky as hell.
Girl, and then and those be the main people that want to sit in your face and continuously talk to you. And then they want to like talk to you like where it's a secret. And so they want to be super close to you when they're having this conversation. And you just be like, oh my God.
I know I had a friend that had a really good job and she wanted to quit her job because the guy that sat right next to her, his breath was so horrible. I said, girl, just wear a damn mask. But put a
Let
triple
me
damn
tell you
mask on,
something.
okay? But you know, and it was hard. And she would talk to me and she would say, do you think it's okay to go to the boss about it? And I would say I don't think it's okay because you seem like a confrontational person. If you're
Oh,
going to your manager who is going to be in an even tougher situation to tell the person that they're stinky.
well, here's the thing. You know how managers they can bring it up like, hey, this violates the code of conduct.
Right? But
I
if you're
mean,
the
that's the
only
only thing
person
that.
in the office complaining about it, going to the manager. Now it's
Well,
different
no, you
if the
gotta you gotta
person
rally some troops though.
it's different if the person have to deal with clients because then you just throw it on the client. Like the client was in here doing all of that, just throw it back on the client. They're not gonna ask the client, did you say my employees stink? They're gonna fix the problem.
That's true.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
true. That's
But in
true.
this
Look,
case,
or
they didn't have they
Robin
wasn't
says,
around clients. Their clients are on the phone. So in this place, you're just one employee that's going to the boss complaining. So you seem confrontational.
oh my God. Robin says, or or the person who's stinky is the one who's always talking shit about other people. Like, I know you can't say nothing about nobody with your stinking self.
But on the real guys, do you guys have any suggestions on how to address a spouse or address a coworker or
I mean,
just leave that stinky shit alone?
look, I just feel like you got to be number
Because it
one.
can
You
be a
got
turn
to,
off if it's a spouse, right? Can it be a turn off if your
yeah,
spouse is stingy?
definitely, definitely,
Okay. I thought so.
definitely,
It could be a
definitely,
deal breaker.
definitely, definitely. But like I said, I feel like the best way to handle it is number one, do it in private. Like that's the number one thing. You cannot have this conversation in front of a bunch of people, okay?
No.
It's got to be you, imano, imano, and you got to do it in person. Cause I feel like when you do it over the phone,
Or a
or if you
damn
try to do it
text.
in text or something like that, it ain't gonna go over well. You got to do it in person, okay? So that's number one. Number two, I feel like you have to know your audience, right? So if the person that you dealing with and they have this older, if they're like a straight shooter, I feel like you could just be like, hey, listen, the last couple of times I've seen you, you know, I'm not sure what's going on if you changed your deodorant or whatever, but it's really not working with your body chemistry. Not sure if anybody said anything to you, but you know I'm your girl, and you know I ain't gonna lie to you. So this is what it is. But I feel like if you talking to somebody that's more sensitive, I feel like you have to give them suggestions on how to correct the issue. So a more roundabout approach. So let's say you got a friend and they got halitosis, right? You have them face to face. You talking with them, and you be like, "Listen, I was at the dentist the other day, and I was talking to them about my breath, and they were giving me some points and some pointers about how to keep my breath fresh. I'm not sure if you know about any of these things, but here, I'm not sure if you already have a dentist, but I think that if you go see my dentist, they may be able to give you the same type of tips.
Okay.
I don't know. Like you put it on yourself to put it back on them.
Okay.
I feel like that's like a safe way if they're kind of sensitive. Like, but like put yourself in the same boat with them. Like, girl, I have had so many issues with having to change my deodorant and stuff like that. Do you ever change your deodorant?
Let me tell you a secret.
Tiff said that's totally true about what Robin said.
What?
Totally true.
Yeah.
That the people who be the big shit talkers be the main ones with some bullshit going on.
Lord. But guys, I mean, personal hygiene is a hard conversation to have. But things we can control is washing our hands, just fucking washing our clothes.
Oh yeah, don't wear that shit 2, 3 times and think you Gucci. I literally do not rewear any clothing.
Well,
The only clothing I will ever rewear is my night clothes, but that's only if I've taken a shower. So, for instance, I have my night clothes that I will put on after I've taken a shower, but then I have my night clothes that I put on like to lounge around the house. So, you know,
well, I think
that's just how.
everybody's body chemistry is different. There's some people that really sweat, so they only can wear something one time. There's some people that
That's true.
can bring their clothes to the cleaners, wear them a couple of times, whatever. But um,
Look, I don't feel like I'm one of them people. I feel like I need to wash my clothes every time. I feel like it ain't right.
but I have worked with people that, well, not people, let me say a person, and I didn't know how to. Oh my God, he was the nicest guy in the world. I would have never been able to say anything. I just was glad when mass started because it smelled as though he washed his clothes, but then they mildewed either in the dryer,
Oh,
didn't have
so
a
he
dryer,
didn't
whatever,
dry them
and it was
properly.
awful. Awful. But
Uh,
as a grown person to a grown man, I didn't know how to say that he was the nicest guy. And he loved to come sit and talk to me. And I would love to be like, so when Mask came out, I was like, Thank
Girl,
freaking
Madison's
God.
the best thing since sliced bread when you was dealing with somebody with some funky smells. And to add insult to injury, sometimes like when people wear certain fragrances that don't agree with their body chemistry, that's like a whole nother thing.
Yeah, but that's not bad personal hygiene.
No, it's
That's
not,
you
but
didn't
it's
test
still,
out the perfume on your
yeah,
body.
but it still be stinking.
But bad personal hygiene is like mildew clothes, funky ass breath,
Stinking ass booty.
thinking you ain't took a shower in a week, washing your damn hands after you use the
What
bathroom.
about when people hair smells?
That's nasty. And I have
That's
smelled
what
people's
I
hair.
said. Yeah, when their hair smells like you hadn't washed your hair in so long that it has an odor
That's
to it.
bad hygiene. But I don't know. Oh, we are running. We Shantae, bring us into a 5 minute tip, girl.
All right,
Save us some
so
money or save us some stuff.
I'm gonna save you guys some heartache.
Okay. Wash your damn clothes.
So, whenever you have an issue, right? Say that issue is with somebody at work and you're frustrated, right? So instead of blowing up and just going off the deep end or stressing yourself out to death because, the situation didn't turn out the way you wanted, or you're in some type of beef with an individual at your job, take a 5-minute breather. 5 minutes can change your whole mood. Just say, listen, I need to step away for 5 minutes. That 5 minutes can be you just simply walking outside, walking to the corner, coming back. Give you some time to calm down, get your adrenaline flowing to help you settle yourself down and refocus you and allow you time to think about, how to deal with the situation a little bit better. So take 5 minutes so that you could just calm down, relax, relate, release, and breathe.
That's a good
My 5 minute tip.
that's a good tip. And I'm gonna add a little something to that. Some
Okay.
some exercises that I have learned throughout my life is when you're taking your 5 minutes and walking to the corner and cooling down, take a deep breath and smile when you blow it out. That always helps, even when you're
Okay.
angry as Chris Brown, pissed through the roof. And then also too, the our mind is programmed to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I
Yeah.
normally do, and I've learned this through exercises and studies, is trick my mind in the calm down process and do like a 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because now
Oh,
you're
okay.
controlling. You're controlling because your mind is programmed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's not really programmed to be like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And that brings you
Oh,
down a lot.
right.
That brings you down.
Right. So, because you got to kind of think that thing through.
Right. And then you
Oh,
you're taking back the control where now you have the control where opposed to when we're so angry, we the anger gets the control.
yeah, I think that's a great tip. Robin says she gonna take 10 minutes just to be on the safe
I'm
side.
with you, Robin, girl. Sometimes I need 15, 20, 30. And if it's my man, you better give me a damn
Oh my God. So that's our time for tonight, guys. We love you guys. Check us out every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you got topics, you can always get them to us. TEAN thangs at gmail.com. We love you so, so very much. Come hang out with us next week.
hour. See you next Wednesday, same
Peace.
time, same place. We love y'all. Peace. I'm out.